Now we're going to start with another stage, that is childhood. We have discussed various kinds of developments in infancy. Now, what is the first feature of childhood? That the child's growth slows down during childhood as compared to infancy. This is a very important feature, that during childhood, the rate of growth or development slows down, or it is very less as compared to infancy period, right? Now, what else? How can you differentiate between childhood and an infant? What happened in childhood? Now the child's focus is shifting from his or her parents and family to whom? Now more adults near home and at schools, right? Apart from their parents, now the child is able to focus, he is able to concentrate, he is able to develop relationship with other adults at home and at school. Other thing, he start developing the sense of morality. What is morality? What are moral values? The sense of good and bad. Now child understand this is a bad thing, this is a good thing. He start understanding that whenever I lie, yes, or whenever I steal something, this is not a good habit, and I always get scolding and punishment, and my parents dislikes this. So it start developing a moral value, a moral sense between bad things and good things. This is second thing. What else? During childhood, children have increased physical capacities. What are those? They can perform tasks, some tasks now independently, right? They can tie up their shoelace independently. They can brush their teeth now independently. They can even eat all the things. Some children are very well equipped to eat with fork and knife also, if they are able to see the same kind of environment at their house, right? You can see very small children are able to eat with a knife and fork, because either they are made to learn this thing by their parents, or they are simply imitating, as we have discussed in enculturation, right? If their parents are or if any of their elders eating with those things, so they just come into this habit automatically. Enculturation is there. Yes. What else? They can set goals and they can meet adult expectations. So these are certain things which make this stage different from infancy period. Fine. Now let us start discussing the physical development. Now there are very important two terms you all can see in black and bold letters on page number 73. First is cephalocaudally, right? And second one is proximodistal. These are under physical development. Now, what are these terms? Let us start discussing the first one. Cephalocaudally means development proceeds, that is, from the head region to the tail region. How development proceeds, how physical development starts? First of all, the head region is developed fully, and then it gradually shifting towards the tail region, or you can say the lower part of your body. Now they have tried to explain this with an example. As you can see that infant's head is proportionately larger than his or her body. Just if you just come in contact with any infant, try to observe this thing. Whenever you are reading something, try to see those things practically also in your surroundings. Just observe that infant head is proportionately bigger as compared to his rest of the body, right? Now what is happening? If you can see an infant crawling, yes, crawling always start first, then the infant will use the arms first and then shift to using the legs. Understood the thing? Agar the infant is using his arms, that shows that development is starting from the upper body and then it is gradually shifting to the tail body. So first of all, he's start gaining control over the arms while crawling, and then he start using his legs also, slowly and slowly. This is about the first term, cephalocaudally. In this, what is happening? The development proceeds from the head region to the tail region. Clear? Now the second one is proximodistal trend. What is it? Children gain control over their torso before their extremities. Torso is what? Anyone knows? Anyone heard this word before? No one. Okay, fine. Yes, Madhav, unmute yourself. Yes, while recording you can answer. What is torso? Right. Torso is from neck to this abdominal. Right. So what is happening in an infant? The infant is gaining control over the torso first, and then he is using his extremities. Extremities are in the form of his arms and legs. How can you just observe this? Infants reach for objects by turning their entire body, right? Gradually they extend their arms to reach for things. Now this is also a thing of observing. Whenever infants want something or they want to reach some object, they just turn their whole body from left to right or from right to left. This is the first development which occurred in infants. So torso is used by, your full body is used by an infant to reach any object. Then slowly and slowly, he start, stretching his arms to pick up that object or to reach that object. So that is showing that he is gaining control over his extremities after gaining control over the torso region, right? So these are the two terms which are important from the point of view of OTQs. 1 mark question. It can be in the form of fill in the blank. It can be in the form of multiple choice question, or simply a definition could be asked, right? Now what else? As children grow older, they look slimmer as the trunk part of their bodies lengthens and body fat decreases. It happens with most of the children. They start slimming, their body starts slimming down, right? The brain and the head grow more rapidly than any other part of the body. This you can write. This is also an important feature, that brain and the head, they start growing more rapidly at a faster rate as compared to other parts of the body. The growth and development of the brain are important as they help in the maturation of children's abilities. What are those abilities? We have to name some of them. Eye-hand coordination. You are observing something and at the same time you're also doing activity with your hands. While driving, what is happening? It shows your eye-hand coordination. You are observing the traffic on the road and at the same time you're also controlling the steering. Or while driving two-wheeler, you are controlling the handle properly, the brakes, right? Eye-hand coordination. What else? Holding a pencil and attempts made at writing. They learn how to hold a pencil properly, and this also has a very great, influence over your handwriting. If a child is not able to pick up the pencil or hold the pencil properly, his handwriting affects to a great rate, right? So this also is a very important effect on your handwriting. This is all important. Last 4 to 5 lines is not important from the point of view of exam, because you don't have to write that minutely, right? Those observations related to the physical development, the things which I just made you explain, one by one you have to write it. And last 2 to 3 lines that are not very important, but just read it from your knowledge point of view, right children? Now yes ma'am, we can stop with the recording.